Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Coach Andres, and thank you for tuning in to coachingwithandres.com. Today we're going to talk about a very cool subject, something a little more intimate, a little more serious about where you want to go from this beginning stage of the relationship to the next phase of commitment. That being said, before we get started, I really appreciate your subscription, as well as a like if you happen to like this video. Any opinions, feedback, or criticism, you can go ahead and leave it on the comment board because I love looking at them, I love reading them, and I do personally respond to each one of them. So that being said, today we're going to talk about 3 things on how to make him commit to you. Right? How to make him committed to you. Well, that's interesting because I've had a lot of scenarios and stories with my clients, the women I talk to, about that next step. How to make their man committed to her, to them. It's interesting. Well, number 1 is very simple. Are you committed to you? What does that mean, Coach Andres? I'm talking about him committed to me. Yeah, I understand. You know, you want him to commit to you. But are you committed to you? What do you mean by that, they say? What do you mean by that, you say? Are you committed to what you stand for? Are you committed toward your self-worth? Are you committed to your self-value? Are you committed to your own responsibilities, your priorities, and knowing that your attraction and value of who you are will always be number 1? Your self-love will always be number 1. Because when it comes to the next level of love and intimacy and relationships and marriage and kids, there's a lot of sacrifice. It is. It's part of the marriage. It's part of the vows. It's part of the commitment. So before you get there, you have to make sure your self-love, your self-value, your self-worth is at as highest as possible. Not in a way of being selfish and cold, but no, being focused and prioritizing what's best for you, your goals, your aspirations, your inspirations, whatever it is that you want to do in life, making that commitment number 1, because that is sexy, that's attractive. So the more you always make sure you do that for yourself, the more he realizes that, wow, she doesn't really need me. She wants me. She's so busy. She's so productive. She's such a go-getter. I don't want to lose her. The value that she brings to the table, the energy that she has in every room is sexy as hell. Man, she's just on fire. So in a way, you're kind of reverse psychology. In a way, you're kind of using a reverse psychology to, yes, you want him to commit to you, but more about you committing to yourself, because he's going to see how independent you are. And he's going to want to commit to that. He's going to see how driven you are. He's going to want to be a part of that. He's going to see how ambitious you are. He's going to want to have some of that. You're going to inspire him and motivate him more than you even think, unintentionally or intentionally. So when you want someone to commit to you, commit to yourself first. And that's very important, because whatever he does do, whatever he does say, will complement who you are, not define who you are. It will complement your happiness, not define your happiness. It will complement your fulfillment and purpose of life, not define it. Especially in the beginning stages of the dating world, before the exclusivity, the entitlement, the relationships, the marriage and kids. Because when that all happens, guess what? You sacrifice your time, you sacrifice your body, you sacrifice everything for the kids and for the family. So that's where you basically don't have the time to commit to yourself, because you have already established a committed foundation of who you guys both are. How do you get there? Commit to yourself first. Even if you love the man, even if you know that there's something special to him, let that build as much as possible. Challenge yourself, because he's going to only want to help you, support you. And if he finds some way of lowering you down, degrading you, draining you, complaining, needy, nope, that's already a sign that you don't want a commitment from him. Because at the end of the day, even though we become two people become one, you also want to keep your independence, your identity. That's the hardest thing to do in a relationship, but it's the healthiest thing to do, is to find someone you click and bond and love with, But understand, you have your life, she has her life, but when we come home together, it's our life. He has his work, you have her work. When you come home together, it's what we work for the kids. So when you have that independence, that individuality, that drive of who you are, you want to find someone who complements that, someone who supports that, not someone who takes that for granted, not someone who uses and abuses that, and not someone who slows you down. That might confuse you in love or as love, but it's not. It's a different form of control or selfishness or infatuation. Real love wants to see you become the best version of who you are. So if you want him to commit to you, commit to yourself first. Watch him fall in love with you. Number 2, how to make a man commit to you. So obviously we talked about number 1, committing to yourself. What's number 2, Coach Andres? What's number 2? Well, I talked about this with a client of mine. We'll call her Michelle. And Michelle's really on this drive. She's basically in law school. She's focused. She sees where everything she's going, and she's just like so focused on what she's doing. And she found a guy that really supports and encourages her to follow her dreams and become the lawyer that she wants to become. I was like, beautiful, beautiful bond. You guys aren't boyfriend, girlfriend yet, but I love the support team. Almost like friends with lovely intentions, friends with lover goals. And that's what you want in life. The healthiest relationships are friends, lovers, partners, teammates, life partners, all the above. Not just what you can do for me and how you make me feel. That's kind of childish love. You gotta think bigger, broader. As many relationship title hats as you can wear in a relationship, the better. So how do you make it to a commitment? Well, number 1, commit to yourself. Number 2, is the commitment to you, yourself, worth it? What does that mean? Is it worth it? Well, I'll tell you what it means. When you're at a level of commitment to yourself, number 1, are you making it worth it by communicating and helping him commit to himself? Understanding what you're doing as you can talk the talk and walk the walk. You're not just doing what I say and not doing what I do. You're encouraging him. You're inspiring him. You're motivating him. You're going to go do well today at work. I know you deserve that promotion. You're going to lose that weight that you've always wanted to do. Or you're going to book that audition. Or you're going to follow your dreams and pursue and build that business from the scratch up. Is the commitment to you worth it? So as much as you're being focused and not say selfish, but focused on your priorities and committed to yourself with number 1, are you sharing that with him? Are you motivating him to him? Are you allowing him and encouraging him to be the best version for himself? And anything that he needs. I mean, we are different people. We speak different languages. Are your strengths his weaknesses? Are his strengths your weaknesses? I honestly have seen a lot of scenarios in the coaching I've done and personal relationships that I've been where I'm like, wow, I really suck at doing this. But she's amazing at that. Can you teach me how you do that? I mean, because I really need to get better at that. My patience or my level of, whatever, it's not as good as yours. Vice versa. And when you start feeding off each other, pushing each other as again, not just lovers, not just boyfriend, girlfriend, but teammates, soldiers together, hand to hand, going warriors together, lovers, life partners. When you're approaching the world in that way, the commitment to you is worth it. Man, I can't lose this woman. They always say behind every man is a strong woman. No, not anymore, because now the side of every strong man is a strong woman, side to side, right? How do we both take over the world together? How do we make our world as best as possible? Because I was committed to myself before I was committed to you. And now that I've seen that working for myself, I want to help you commit to yourself the best way you can, in the healthiest way you can, being supportive, being helpful, being patient, being honest, being positive. That makes it worth it. Who doesn't want that? I don't know. I mean, that sounds, I'm telling you, it works. Number 3. But before we go to number 3, you know what I want to say? Let's hit that subscription. I really appreciate it because it's free. I'm here to help you out for free advice, free guidance, free coaching. I really love what I do. And honestly, I love the feedback that you guys give me because it makes me want to be a better coach. I read all of them and I love the feedback. I love to get any criticism to evolve as a human being, as a man, and as a coach. And that has to go with number 3, ironically. You see how I kind of connected that all together. Number 3, how to make a man commit to you. Always open to learning. Always open to evolving. Always open to growing. If you stay stagnant in something, complacent in something, boring at something, people lose commitment feelings. They lose commitment attachment. They lose commitment attraction. It's just human nature. It's not men. It's not women. It's human nature. So if you're not open to evolving or trying new things in a safe manner, of course, you basically kind of limit the level how committed someone could be. If you're always trying to evolve as a person, learn new things, try new things, new hobbies, new adventures, new exploring, everything, how cool and how adventurous, how universal, how well-rounded of a person are you? My goodness, I can't even keep up how much committed I want to be with you. That's attractive. That's valuable. That's sexy as hell. Because you're always open to it. Even if you're right or wrong, disagree or agree, I don't care. I want to learn more about you. So in that way, you keep that commitment as limitless as possible. Almost to the point of the vows. All the way. Because you're always pushing yourself. And you're always helping pushing him. And when you guys are basically at a point at a wall or a stagnant place or a place of complacency, which happens, it's given, it's going to happen, it's inevitable, are you willing to change things up, shake things up, try new things, eat new things, drink new things, dance new ways, try new clothes, travel new places, try new ways of talking? That keeps things spicy, keeps things fresh. And that's something that everyone wants to commit to because you're always evolving. Just like, technology or fashion in a way, always evolving. And we stay committed to all of it. So you want to stay that commitment to yourself. So number 1, commit to yourself. Number 2, how do you make that commitment worth it? How do you make that valuable? Show him that you're committed to him and making him the best version of himself. And number 3, always evolving, always growing. Always learning. So hopefully this was very helpful for you all. And if it wasn't, leave a comment. I want to evolve. I want to grow. I want to learn. I'm open to it. But thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all very soon.